Hi everyone and welcome to my place. Welcome back to the studio. It's been nearly 10 months, but it is marvellous to be back into here. And it is also equally wonderful to have been off to Mangrove Creek down in Katikati in the Bay of Plenty, beautiful horticultural growing area, and to actually get my hands on some beautiful early spring flowering blooms. Vania and Daryl did an amazing job of taking us behind the scenes. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look. So these are the flowers that I brought back, and today I thought what a wonderful start to leg 2 of the journey than to share a whole heap of ways to use fresh spring early blooming flowers. So let us just get started. I'll put those down and we'll work our way through them. The first flower I want to showcase is the Hellebore, or the winter rose, or the Christmas rose. It's a beautiful flower, and what I love about it is it's almost as brave as the snowdrop. The snowdrop comes up first, and then these beautiful plants, which I was always told were sleepers, creepers and leapers, because that's what they do. They sleep all summer, and then in the winter they sort of creep along, getting nice strong root structure, and then just as the snowdrop comes up, the Hellebore just leaps into life. They are gorgeous flowers, and although some call them a Christmas rose or a Lenten Rose or the other names that they have for them, they kind of do look like a little rose. Have a look at that there. It's just beautiful. It's like the early roses of way back at the beginning of time. Now I've given you a whole heap of information on this that you can see at the end. Just drag it up when you've had a look at the video and it will share all the other interesting little tidbits about these flowers. Now, like all spring flowers, they're very strong and sturdy, but sometimes they don't like being picked. So when you are buying them, if you don't have access to them in your garden, and don't forget they're grown here and they're shipped all over the world, which I think is marvellous that you too can get to share what I'm actually playing with today. I think that's marvellous. Now, if they drop their little heads, because their heads do nod down, and naturally in the growing environment, they do put their little heads down, and that's just to protect them. And like when you look into this here, look at that. See how its little heads down like that? That's actually like its own little umbrella, so that when the water gets onto it, it just sort of slips and rips off, because in here, they're very, very delicate. So you've got to be careful of them. Now, when you get them, they are looking like, get rid of that big bowl there, they're looking a little bit like really, really droopy, and you can tell that they're really, really droopy. See this here? Now you can put that into water and it might revive and stick it and pop its little head up. But if it doesn't, this is what I do. Into here, this is a little tip from me. In here I have some boiling hot water. Get rid of that, and then what I do is I get a little tissue, a paper towel like so, and I put that over the top of that so that the steam doesn't actually hurt them too much, and then just slant cut all of those stems like so, and then put those down in through there, down, I'm being a bit rough here, but you get the drift. Put those down into the hot water, and the reason I put the paper over it is because sometimes the steam can damage their little petals. Leave those in there for maybe a minute or two, and then once they've been in there seeping in that hot water, which just sort of opens up its little fibres, then they can come out of there and go into deep water, deep cold water. Oops, that fell out. Oops, I didn't want that to fall out. And just leave them. Now, if nothing is revived, then just walk away, because they're not going to be revived. But this has always been a really easy way for me to get my spring blooms, or any types, lots and lots of blooms that have got the wilt on, to come to, oh, hello, I'm back again. Now, a design Of all of the designs that I have ever done, this is by far the quickest, the easiest, but is the visually most exciting. So make sure your vase is nice and clean, nice clean water, and a little tip from me and the growers is to add just the tiniest little bit, like about a teaspoon of bleach to the water. Now the bleach will kill off any bacteria, and it is the bacteria that gets into the water that actually makes the flowers go off quickly. Yeah, that's what I wanted to use, the death word, but I don't want to do that. So anyway, just a little bit of bleach into there. Now, this is what I like to do. And this is by far the easiest way to have your little blooms last longer. And it's just a matter of cutting off the little head. Sometimes I leave a little bit of foliage with them, but it's just a matter of cutting these and then letting them just float. And look, I love this here. See, this here's a little wee seed here, and I just love that visually you get all these interesting little bitty interesting visuals on the flowers that just help to add a little bit more interest to your design. Now, in the past when I have done these, I can get nearly a good week out of these flowers, and all you need to remember to do is I'm not going to use that one because that's good, but I'll use these ones here because they've got that, they were already deciding that they didn't really want to be in life, but now they will because they're going to have. And when you do it like this, what's great is there's not a lot of stress on the flower trying to suck the moisture up through their little stems. But look at this, how gorgeous it's looking. Little flowers just floating in this. What are they? They're just suspended. And I think that that's what I really love about this type of early spring designing. And it's just, look at that. And that on a table, I just think it looks gorgeous. And look, I might as well use all of these because they might come, but then again, they might not. So how's that for a beautiful spring is here moment? I absolutely love it for its simplicity, and the flowers get to just reign supremely. I love it. Hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing with you, and I'll be back again with another way of designing with Hellebores, and the next flower is going to be Pyrrhus because that too is another of my spring favourites. See you again another day.